Well, welcome, ladies and germs. It's April 2nd, 2020. You're listening to My Alaskan Backyard, where we talk about all kinds of weird shit. And tonight, it's 35 degrees, and we have light snow. So, welcome to my hell. Nowhere near spring yet. Uh, it's snowing again. It's 35. I don't know how much we're going to get out of here. Out of this dump, we'll probably get maybe an inch. If it goes all night, might get up 3 inches or so, 3 or 4 inches. On top of we've had some melting, but now we've only lost about. We're down to about 3 foot of snow. We can see a little bit of the top of the picnic table. I see the backs of the lawn chairs out there, and when I walk down the trail down to the parking lot where the trucks are at, you step off the ice. It's all super ice all the way down there. So when you step off of that, you go down up about mid-calf, I guess. So it's leaving, but boy, it can't leave fast enough. So you may have noticed my new attire. I'm getting close to cutting my hair and getting rid of my beard. For now, I've got my drive-on rag. You guys are as old as me. You remember during you had and afterwards, the infantry we'd usually would hand out as medics. We'd hand out these triangular bandages to the guys, and they would use them as what they call drive-on rags. Get the sweat off your neck. They'd put it over their head to keep their hair from getting bugs in them and dirt and stuff. And they make a nice face mask. Okay, you bring it on up like that there. You don't have to wear it up all the time. I mean, you don't want them to think you're in there to rob the store, but you wear it around your neck loosely. You go in, you clean your cart off with them little disposable towels they got there with the hand sanitizers, and you go pull up your bib whenever you approach another human being, so that you don't spread the COVID stuff over to that other person. This is my answer to the medical mask that I've seen people wearing today. I heard this morning that a rumor on the net that they may be announcing that people are going to have to wear masks and be screened before they can go back to work. So I'm getting ready. I'm going back to work or nothing, but I got my mask here. Go up like that there, see? And you can tuck it on down. If you happen to break your leg or your arm or whatever, you got a triangular bandage there. You can grab your stick and splint yourself up. And get ready to drive on. That's why they call it the drive-on rag. So I had a bunch of these left over from my medicine days, and I pulled a few of them out, handed them out to the wife and son. It looks like they may require the use of masks for a while. I don't know for sure, but you never know. It's nice to have one. I also have chemical warfare equipment. I've got a face mask and a couple chemical filters. But it's not time to pull that out yet. I'm already putting weapons on and walking around strapped and stuff. But no, I thought it was pretty cute to come up with this. Now with my army hat and my cravat over my face, and I got my veteran Cold War warrior dude on there. See? Oh, oh. But in order for my face mask to fit, I'm gonna have to cut all this off, and my hair. We're going to see how wild this ride gets before I do that. So I turned on the camera tonight. I figured I'd talk a talk here or whatever, and maybe look at some stuff here. What's going on? What are other people doing? Let's see here. Tom Lycan, he's pretty cool dude. I enjoy the way he totally destroys the feminist movement. It's like, and they get these gals call up and they're so fucking pissed off at him because their husbands are actually listening to what this dude has to say, and it's causing them some problems. So there's still humor in the world, right? Emergency relief packages. I found out tonight that I'll get a payment in my Social Security. All us old fucks will get $1,200 as well. That'll come in handy. Stocking, resupplying the pantry with some chow and stuff. I'm a lucky guy because I don't have a mortgage. When I came to Alaska, when I got out of the military for the last time, I'd been stationed up in Alaska 2 previous times, and Alaska was my home of record. So when I ETS'd the last time down at Fort Sam Houston, Texas, I came back up here to Alaska, and after working a couple of years, we doing various things. We had a nice little house overlooking the bluff that we were renting. And out of the blue, one day, the guy comes up and says, "Hey, look, I got you either got to buy it or you got to leave because we're selling it." And I go, "Okay, well, gee, how much you want?" You know, he gave me like 350, 400 grand for this place. I mean, it was a nice bluff lot, but this place had been built during the building boom in Alaska when the Trans-Alaska Pipeline went in. Okay, so at that time the builders were building houses as fast as they could, and then once everybody had bought a house that they needed, they still kept buildings were building houses for other builders. So, just to churn up money and things. So, and as they did as boom was going on, they kept milking it for everything they got. They started building really shoddy construction stuff. And this A-frame, kind of like a semi-A-frame with a prow front house that I lived in, was held together. I mean, it was a 3-bedroom, 2-story house with an attached carport, and had a beautiful view of the Cook Inlet and the Susitna mudflats and stuff. It was a great place, but it was held together with a metal band that ran around the perimeter outside, and it would rain inside because in the crawl space below they had not put a vapor barrier down, right? So water was getting heated up in the atmosphere, and we had a big old open ceiling there and a fireplace. It was really gorgeous, 2 stories. There's a beam that ran down the center of it, so moist air would get up there and condense on the beams up there. Then all summer long, you'd be sitting there, and at night when it cooled down a little bit, it would rain inside the house. So there ain't no way in hell I was going to buy that place. So wound up finding a lot that was owned by a bank and repossessed that they would do a land contract on, and I just pay so much per month on the contract for 5 years, and at the end of 5 years, if I paid all my payments, the title transferred to me. It was my property then. So that's what I did. So I had a 5-year note. So the first thing we did is we moved out to that piece of land. It was at the end of a cul-de-sac in a small subdivision up here near on Lazy Mountain up north of Palmer, and we got up in there, and I built a cabin there. And so, and every year we just kept building on to it until we got this giant monstrosity now. And all came out of pocket. We built out of pocket, so there was no mortgage. I haven't had a mortgage in, no, wait a minute. No, I mortgaged it one time to build onto it but that mortgage only was like a 3 or 4 year mortgage. And so after that, yeah, we've been living here without a mortgage for like 20 years or so, 25 years. And so that puts us in a better position than a lot of you people and a lot of the folks in the neighborhoods and stuff that have those mortgages. Now they don't have no money coming in, and there could be a lot of problems coming up. So let's look and see what's going on. What are people talking about? Your money is coming. Okay. Let's see here. I think I was watching this earlier. Let's see what they're saying.
Hey, I just read
Tonight we're just gonna bullshit and goof off here. Yeah, as you see, my network gets very slow sometimes. There's our commander-in-chief.
We're in a very critical phase of our war against the coronavirus. It's vital that every American follows our guidelines on the 30 days to slow the spread. The sacrifices.
Yeah, that means you dumb fuckers stop going out to the fucking street there and having like 7, 8 of you for a basketball game.
We're in control of our own fate very much.
This shit is transferred human to human, okay? And you can get it for people that are asymptomatic. That means they don't know they've got it, right? So the only way you're going to stop this shit is don't fucking associate with each other no closer than 6 fucking feet.
In the world, we're racing to develop new ways to protect.
Now, how fucking hard is that, you morons? Don't get within 6 foot of each other if you can avoid it. All right? And I know it's tempting and you to disobey that, but you can handle it for a couple of weeks, right? Just let this shit burn itself out, you know? That virus is only viable on the outside of the human body or on a surface for no longer than like 27 days. That's the max. That's a known fact. They've already published that, okay? You know, it lives less long on different types of surfaces, but that's the max that it can stay alive. So what they're trying to do is just keep everybody away from each other and contaminated surfaces by having you shelter at home for the next month or so, and then that'll get rid of the son of a bitch forever. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you people? Just get with the fucking program.
It's the virus, as well as therapies, treatments, and ultimately a vaccine, and we're making a lot of progress. I think medically a lot of progress. At the same time, we're also racing to get relief to American workers and small businesses, as you know. I want to remind small business owners across America that the Paycheck Protection Program is launching tomorrow.
I'm thinking, how many people are going to fucking fraud this thing? Okay? You know, all these intentions are good. I mean, it's awesome if people will, the business owners and the employees and stuff will all work this shit out correctly, you know, and the small businesses and all. It's all great, but I have a feeling that there are some of us out there in America will take full advantage of every fucking thing we can get, and then you know, I don't know how they're going to pay this shit back unless we can totally wipe out all our debt to the rest of the world, and this is a total reset. If it is, that makes total sense then to me. But I'm kind of worried about us sending troops down to Venezuela, down south, to do drug interdictions. You usually don't send the fucking 4 destroyers, the 10 Coast Guard cutters, you know, P-3 Orion aircraft, other air assets, and a fucking brigade of Army, you know, I don't know whether they're Rangers or whatever they are. They're some type of special task force brigade. What they're made up of, I don't know. Could they be anything from operators to freaking surveillance people to who the fuck knows? But we are now at war with the cartels of South America and South and Central America and Venezuela. That dude in Venezuela, that El Presidente, was indicted by the Department of Justice at Bill Barr. He announced it. I mean, and the next day, was it 2 days after? I think it was 2 days. It may have been longer, maybe about no longer than a week prior to that, prior to when they dispatched those ships and shit yesterday. So we're at war, folks, whether you want to believe it or not. We got hit with a Chinese bioweapon that kind of looks like it was designed specifically for high-density population areas to help kill off all the old people and all the defective folks. I don't fucking know what to believe anymore. All I know is you need to keep your powder dry, folks. This is going to get interesting.
$150 billion in loans will be available to small businesses, including sole proprietors. These loans are up to one.
I don't know if you guys heard the beep. That's my stupid fucking power company sending a pulse through the line with data, with usage data on it. Okay. That thing has fried. It sends a pulse. What they're doing is using the amplitude of the pulse to transmit data from the smart meter outside to their central hub. Well, their smart meter ain't smart enough not to send a pulse up to the house as well, right? So we get a pulse. First off, when they first installed it, we were getting a pulse every freaking 15 minutes around the clock. And their excuse when I complained about it was, well, we're launching this new app on your phone where you'll be able to see your energy usage, you know, and we'll be able to map it to the minute. And I'm thinking, so I have to put up with this around the clock? I burned up the pulsations burned up to UPSs I had on half my network. The other two that are surviving are starting to beep like shit. Like every time they sent a pulse, they had stopped it, only sending a pulse for like at the middle of the night to report your usage for like it was like 4 months now. And then now they're back to sending them periodically, like once an hour, and it's only a matter of time before they fry the rest of the equipment in here. It's stupid motherfuckers, I swear. To God. And they're supposed to be a co-op, right? They're supposed to be intelligent. They're not. Let's get back to the president here.
As long as employers keep paying their workers. Got to take care of your workers. Furthermore, we want Social Security beneficiaries to know that if they are typically not required to file a tax return. They don't have to file one in order to receive the direct cash payments that will soon be distributed.
Well, I'm doing mine right now, my taxes. So I'm going to send them in no matter what. I shouldn't know anything, but if I do, I'll make arrangements and pay it, you know. They'll take payments. I've been sending them payments for 20 fucking years on and off, you know. The IRS aren't really the bad guys, I don't think. I think it's the politicians that use them to set social policy and to control us minions out here. That's the problem. Obama, remember?
To American citizens, the Treasury will deposit the money directly into the bank accounts, and don't forget, I will always protect your Social Security, your Medicare, and your Medicaid. We're protecting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and I always will. I'd like now to invite SBA Administrator Jovita Carranza, who's doing a fantastic job. She's going to be very busy in the next little while.
I should fast forward some. So I've watched this prior to this show, so I know what's going to come up and everything. Basically, if I was still in business, I would take them up on this stuff, because just keeping your store open, whether there's traffic coming in or not, but keeping the people on the payroll, and you don't have to, you can still use your people once inside your operation to do things. You can rotate them in, one guy a day, right? And you just keep paying their regular salary, and use the opportunity to clean your fucking establishment up and get ready for the new normal. The new norm is going to be disinfected, social distancing, because this is a bioweapon we're dealing with. It's not going to go away, and there's going to be more of it coming down the pike. We're at fucking war, folks. We're at war with the New World Order and with the fucking Chinese right now. And that man on the screen there is trying to keep us from going fucking nuclear. Right? You people should be trying to get this shit over with as fast as you can, and that's not going out to be with your crew. That's using your fucking brain. Now we're at this pace because you dumbasses that went to spring break and that went to Mardi Gras and all this shit after it was announced about this virus, and your Democratic fucking mayors encouraged you to get out and have fun and socialize and shit, knowing that the alert was put out. Now we all got to wear a fucking mask like that. We got to wear this shit. No, I don't know where this is going, but I'll tell you what, folks, I'm getting pretty pissed off at the stupidity of
Secretary
of
Steve
people.
Mnuchin to say a few words about
Excuse me.
vital initiatives, and then we'll get on to the attack of the virus itself. And please, if I might, Steve and Jovita.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
She's going to go into the details about the the money that they have available for small businesses. It's a pretty good deal, It'll keep your people, your employees, out of the poorhouse if you can. It might keep you out of the poorhouse, Just don't fucking abuse it. Don't give anybody any reason to cancel the program and shit. So this goes on and on and on. Through the magic of fast forward. Okay, here's where we get to the intellectual giants of our society nowadays. They're called the mainstream media. Let's just. I don't think I've watched these for this. I haven't seen. I didn't watch the news reporter portion of the report. I got up and turned it off after that. But let's sit there. Let's watch it together, folks, and see what kind of dumbass, delusional, juvenile bullshit they ask these people, and see how many times they ask the same exact fucking question. They phrase it in a different manner, or they preponicate grossly before they even finish the question. You know, they spend a good 90 seconds setting up the question or whatever, and it's always the gotcha shit. It's like, okay. Yeah, let's listen to it. We'll stop and analyze it here and see what happens. Let's go. Here's the first morons are going to start asking.
It's going to take a little bit of time, but we committed that this will be available tomorrow, and I encourage all companies, go to SBA.com, go to Treasury.gov. You can see the information you need immediately.
Just to follow up with the small business owners, a number of them saying that they were on that conference call and that there's a tremendous power struggle going on between the Treasury and SBA, and that it's over process and forms is what they tell me, that lenders are actually opting out because they can't make enough money to even service the loans. So how are you going to make sure these small business owners get the capital they need to survive right now?
Well, first of all, I can assure you, Jovita's here. Jovita used to work for me as the treasurer. There's no power struggle. Jovita and our team, as I said, worked together till 4 o'clock in the morning, started working at 7 o'clock again. We've made the form simpler, and I can assure you at 5 points, I've told these bankers they should take all their traders and put them in the branches. So there'll never be another opportunity to earn 5 points on a 90-day government, fully government.
You hear that? They're paying these people extraordinary amounts of money to make these loans available, to process these loans. 5 points. What's a point, you ask? That's a percentage of the value of the loan. So they make a loan for $100,000, they get $5,000 commission on that loan, right off the top, right? They're guaranteed that points. It's not over, and these are just for. They're going to make 5% on these loans in a 90-day window. Well, you could work out that return on investment and stuff in your mind if you want. Oh God, these people are fucking dumb.
Guaranteed loan.
And the checks right into direct deposit, IRS now saying it take 4 to 5 months. You're saying 2 weeks.
Well, let me be clear. I don't know where let me be clear. I don't know where you're hearing these things. I told you.
You know, they want these guys to comment on fake fucking news that they made up, shit that they just took out of the ether. Just put their hand up there and grabbed it and pulled it down. They're expecting these people to give them some answer to their fantasy. It's fucking crazy.
This would be 3 weeks. I'm now committing to 2 weeks. We're delivering on our commitments. The IRS, which I oversee, within 2 weeks, the first money won't be in people's accounts.
Just a follow-up, but I know the question is not about the first checks. For folks who have direct deposit, it sounds like those will go out pretty quickly. The question is then for folks who don't have direct deposit, and there was a staff memo that was released by the House Ways and Means Committee today saying that process could take up to 5 weeks. That takes you to mid-August. Is that how long it's going to take?
That is not going to take
5
5.
months,
Again, let me just say, when Obama sent out these checks, it took months and months and months. I am
Okay, now listen to this. You know, he's going to explain to this woman yet again how direct deposit works. Okay? This fucking bitch is so stupid, she doesn't understand what direct deposit is and how it's implemented. You know? They're flipping a switch in an office and then the money's magically there. Okay, all these banks that do direct deposit, they get a tape. They usually get a computer file or a disk or a tape, depending on how old their computer systems are, at least 2 or 3 days prior to the date of the transaction. Say they're saying April 17th is when the direct deposits will be done. Depending on most of the banks and stuff, how old their equipment and shit is, they'll get the list of people to credit for that money at least 72 hours prior to that. Okay, because there's got to be a leeway in there of at least that many days in case, what if their system's down? Okay, you're talking about millions of banks and stuff all over the country. So there's always that built-in leeway in there. All right, so it ain't going to take more than 72 hours for those checks to be in your account. 72 hours prior. The tapes and stuff will probably be arrived at the banks 72 hours prior to the date of the deposit. And as far as I know, it's supposed to be April 17th. Okay? So, fortunately for me, they're going to give us Social Security recipients such as myself, they're going to give us the full amount, the $1,200, which will be great. That'll pay some bills, and that'll take a little pressure off of me. I'm not working, but I live on Social Security, and that's it. I don't have a big old pension or nothing. The only advantage I have is I don't have a mortgage I have to make. I always have a place to lay down out of the weather. There's a lot of people that can't say that. And that's, I don't think that these press corps and shit actually gets that, or they have some alternative motive for asking the stupidest questions and then trying for the get you moment on everybody.
Bring the American public, they need the money now. What we're going to do is, again, if we have your information, you'll get it within 2 weeks. Social Security, you'll get it very quickly after that. If we don't have your information, you'll have a simple web portal, you'll upload it. If we don't have that, we'll send you checks in the mail.
How many checks can you process a week, though? How many checks can you...
See, they're not happy. He could tell them that they have a time machine and they're going to go back to December of last year, of 2019, and issue everybody a check, and they'll have it before Christmas of last year. That's what she's fucking stupid. And look at her face. Look at that stupid face. Look at those eyes. Those blank eyes. She knows that she's fucking going to say something stupid.
Again, we can process a lot of checks, but we don't want to send checks. In this environment, we don't want people to get checks. We want to put money directly into their account. Yes.
Okay. Again, and this is how many of you people deal with the U.S. mail on a non-crisis day? Okay. How many of you people have gotten the correct mail or the incorrect mail, or gotten something lost for months and months and months at a time in the postal system, and then it finally showed up? How many of you have had your mail stolen? How many of you have had... No. So what he's saying is, look, you dumb cow. We're going to do direct deposit for everybody we possibly can, and there's no reason why we can't, because most everyone in the nation who's on public assistance has a bank account with direct deposit. People that have, that's what those benefit cards are, the SNAP program, the all of them. They all have a direct, they go to some type of bank account that every person has of some type or another. It's going to take 5 weeks to send out a paper check. That'll put it in August. Nobody in their right mind is going to opt in for a paper check unless that's the only way they can get it. If that's the only way they can get it, that's not the government's fault. It's just the fact of life. And you send it by U.S. mail, believe me. I worked for them people for 17 years. Or was it? No, 27 years we did that. Me and the old lady, we were highway contractors for the post office. If you're counting on their paper check, you're an idiot. It may get there on time, and it may. I've seen whole trays which holds like 4 or 5 foot of mail, right? Wind up in a completely different town in the state of Alaska than what they were addressed to, and they were people's payroll checks. Okay, I've seen that happen. It goes out there. All right, the weather's great when the plane lands with the payroll with all those checks in it. It goes to the local post office. The postmaster looks in there, takes the cover off, and starts looking at the stuff to case the mail up for the local community. And guess what? It's a whole tray of somebody else's, some other destination, right? But on top of that, the weather's changed. The plane can't get back out of the village or the place where it's at. A week goes by, 2 weeks, and finally, those checks wind up back to the mail sort center that sent them out to the wrong place, and then they get sent to the right place. So if you don't got direct deposit, you're a fucking idiot.
Secretary, this is for, I guess, both you and the administrator. There have been some anecdotal reports that business people trying to get access to the online site to submit the applications. The website's been crashing. I've heard of webinars going offline because there's just too many people on them. So how are you guys going to be ready, tomorrow to get these loans out?
There's another stupid fucking question, okay? It's called scaling up. The federal government has more computer resources than anybody in the fucking planet, okay? If they're having a problem right now with serving up a site, all they got to do is start up another instance of that site, right? Set the networking up on it. A simple fucking, 10-second switching at a console in one of the computer centers, and then they've got more capacity. They've doubled their capacity. They tripled it. It's exponential. They just keep turning up servers. That's what virtual machine, using virtual servers or the cloud. That's what it is, you dumb son of a bitch. Do a little bit of research before you open your fucking mouth. Don't make yourself looking more like a moron.
Well, we've brought in a lot of external resources at SBA and us to make sure there's additional capacity. As I said, we heard a lot of good feedback yesterday to simplify this process. It's going to be up and running. Now, let me just be clear. That doesn't mean everybody is going to get their loan tomorrow, but the system will be up and running. We encourage people over the next week. Sign up. You can go on right now.
See, this is why we're in such dire straits, man. This fucking media, I mean, sometimes I think that they're just fucking retarded. That's why they come up with this shit. But then the pattern shows up over and over and over. The same pattern of behavior, the same types of questions and all that. They're after some fucking agenda here, something. Anything they can do to try and derail the fucking country. It's just seems like that's, and they're psychologically, maybe they don't know they're doing it, but they are. It's disgusting, man. Let's watch the rest of this.
Go on the web, see what information you need. Very simple process.
Mr. Secretary, on a separate subject, have you been in touch with Leader McConnell and Speaker Pelosi about their differences right now about another stimulus package?
I've spoken to the leader. I've spoken to the speaker. I've spoken to the president constantly. When the president's ready and thinks we should do.
It's so nice that these people stand there and take this abuse from these moron reporters.
That's a big priority for him.
Sometimes Trump loses his temper with them.
If we run out of money,
but these other cabinet members and stuff, they're they're pretty cool, actually.
Well, let me just say, you know, we're going through something that we've never done before, where the government has shut down big parts of the economy because of health reasons. Our economy was in great shape. Our companies were in great shape. There are three ways that Americans are going to be protected. For small business, they'll get paid by their business through this program. The direct deposit, there's
Excuse me,
also
folks.
enhanced unemployment. So we realize, unfortunately, there are a lot of companies that, because they aren't in business over a short period of time, again,
Wow,
they're
we've been
working with
doing
the
this for
states
40
on
minutes,
enhanced
people.
unemployment. And
Should we
as
shoot
soon as
for
we
an
get
hour
the
and then call it a
professionals,
day?
and the president give the
Because it might
all-clear,
take
we're
quite a
going to
bit
have
of
ton liquidity.
effort to
We have about
upload this.
$6 trillion. This has
Let's
never
see what
been done
happens there.
between
We'll
us
do
and
it a
the
few
Fed
more minutes and then
to put into the
we'll
economy
call
to
it a
support
night.
American workers and American business.
Secretary, in addition to the jobless numbers we saw today, phase 3 was signed before the social distancing guidelines were extended for another month. So what additional relief are you going to give to Americans as they stay out of work?
We're going to let them survive. If they do what they're told here, guess what? They won't fucking die. That's what we're going to do for them. We've given as much money as we can. What do you want these people to say, bitch? What is your fucking point? And look at this motherfucker in front of her. Look at the fucking look on this asshole's face.
All these extra weeks. I mean, what are you waiting for?
Well, we in designing this program, we thought that we had liquidity.
You see the accusatory tone at the end? What are you waiting for? Everything is your fault. Oh, God, they're
about 10
disgusting.
weeks, and that's what we've designed. And again, I think the president's been very clear. If we need to go back to Congress to support the American economy and American workers, we will be doing that.
Mr. Secretary.
Secretary Yushin, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has formed a select committee to oversee the distribution
Pelosi?
of recovery funds.
Fuck.
And she says she wants to make sure that those funds are wisely and efficiently spent. Do you think that select committee is something that's necessary?
I don't. I mean, you know, both parties wanted us to have oversight, wanted us to have transparency. We have full transparency. We have a oversight committee that the speaker gets to pick someone, the leader gets to pick someone. I believe there's 5 people on it. And again, that committee will review the money that we're spending. And again, we support full transparency. Taxpayers should understand how we're going to support this economy and jobs.
Mr. Secretary, Senator Murkowski has asked you to consider providing loans to energy companies under the KERS Act, the Phase 3 bill. What are your thoughts on that? Would you consider providing those loans to energy companies?
So,
Okay, if Murkowski wants it, you know it's a left-hard thing. You know, I don't know what she's up to, but I don't trust her. So whatever she's up to, I ain't buying it.
thank you, and let me clarify. I have very limited ability to do direct loans out of the Treasury. I can do them for passenger airlines, cargo airlines, contractors, and national security companies. Outside of that, we work with the Federal Reserve to create broad-based lending facilities, which we will do. So our expectation is the energy companies, like all our other companies, will be able to participate in broad-based facilities, whether it's the corporate facility or whether it's the Main Street facility, but not direct lending out of the Treasury.
The question for clarity about the direct payments to Americans. For those folks who don't have...
Okay, so there's another idiot covering the same ground that's always been covered. You know, they complain about the length of these things. They're the ones that are fucking making it difficult. Fucking reporters are morons. All right, that's enough of that. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, let's go back. I don't know if you people are aware that
Not only is it the only vessel that can stop.
of the war that started yesterday with Venezuela and the South. Let's listen to the Attorney General tell us about this scourge that we were going to war with. Maybe we'll see the chief of staff in here too. Commercial, guys peeing. Skip. There he is, chief of staff. I know this guy here. He's the Secretary of the Defense. And there's AG Barr, and I don't know this naval guy, or this guy, or this guy.
America continues
But listen up to this.
all-out war to defeat
We're gonna go get the cartels, yay!
how terrible it is, especially when you look at the numbers from yesterday. And we explained why we're extending our nationwide guidelines to slow the spread 30 days. Together we have the power to save countless lives. We're attacking the virus on every front with social distancing, economic support for our workers, rapid medical intervention, and very serious innovation, and banning dangerous foreign travel that threatens the health of our people. And we did that early, far earlier than anyone would have thought, and way ahead of anybody else. In this time of need, I know that every American will do their patriotic duty and help us to achieve a total victory. As governments and nations focus on the coronavirus, there's a growing threat that cartels, criminals, terrorists, and other malign actors
Bingo! Here's Johnny.
will try to exploit the situation for their own gain, and we must not let that happen. We will never let that happen. Today, the United States is launching enhanced counter-narcotics operations in the Western Hemisphere to protect the American people from the deadly scourge of illegal narcotics. We must not let the drug cartels exploit the pandemic to threaten American lives. In cooperation with the 22 partner nations, U.S. Southern Command will increase surveillance.
U.S. Southern Command. Now we're going to hear some specifics about this war, what we're sending to the pot.
Disruption and seizures of drug shipments, and provide additional support for eradication efforts which are going on right now at a record pace. We're deploying additional Navy destroyers, combat ships, aircraft and helicopters, Coast Guard cutters, and Air Force surveillance aircraft.
Now, did you get that? Let's go back through that. Let's go back through that again. Destroyers. You don't sortie a bunch of destroyers and other combat vessels on a whim. It's either a major training exercise that's been scheduled for a long, long time, or you go into war.
Additional support for eradication efforts which are going on right now at a record pace. We're deploying additional Navy destroyers, combat ships, aircraft and helicopters, Coast Guard cutters, and Air Force surveillance aircraft, doubling our capabilities in the region. Very importantly, our forces are fully equipped with personnel, protective equipment, and we've taken additional safety measures to ensure our troops remain healthy. Secretary Mark Esper, Attorney General Bill Barr.
That sounds to me like they're anticipating more chemical or biological activity where they're headed, folks. You know, we're going into a fucking war. You just better hope that it doesn't go nuclear too quick. I think we'll be able to knock these assholes out, but I don't know.
National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien will provide more details. In addition, I'm going to have General Milley, who's done an incredible job in so many ways, say a few words. And also with us, our Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Gilday, who you know, I think you know, and Commandant of the Coast Guard, Admiral Schultz. So I'm going to ask Mark to start, and then we can go, and after that we're going to take questions as it pertains to this, and then we'll go on to phase 2, which is the virus itself. Okay? Thank you, please, Mark.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and good afternoon, everyone.
Trump's like a boss, man. That's what. Oh man, he's good. Love him. Now listen to these details these following people come up with. And you try and analyze and think of it as anything other than a fucking going after Venezuela and the cartels. The thing that gets me is their emphasis on preparing these guys for health stuff. So that tells me that they're going to go in and fight in a chemical biological environment.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here today as we make this very important announcement. At a time when the nation and the Department of Defense are focused on protecting the American people from the spread of the coronavirus, we also remain vigilant to the many other threats our country faces. Today, at the President's direction, the Department of Defense, in close cooperation with our interagency partners, began enhanced counter-narcotics operations in the Eastern Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. This initiative is part of the administration.
Do you hear those locations? On both sides of the fucking Golden Triangle there. On both sides. They're definitely going after the drugs.
Whole of government approach
Or Venezuela.
of illicit drugs into the United States and protecting the American people from their scourge. I want to thank all of our partners in this effort, to include the United States Coast Guard, the Department of Homeland Security, the Drug Enforcement Agency, the Department of Justice, and members of the intelligence community for their tremendous support and cooperation. To conduct these enhanced operations, the President has directed the deployment of additional ships, aircraft, and security forces to the United States Southern Command area of responsibility. Included in this force package are Navy destroyers and littoral.
Do you hear that? Navy destroyers. They don't sortie Navy destroyers to go after drug running fast mosquito boats.
Ships, Coast Guard cutters, P-8 patrol aircraft, and elements of an Army Security Force Assistance Brigade.
Do you hear that? Army troops. He said elements of, but he mentioned a brigade-sized element. So that could be anything from a battalion to a company. And it's more than likely going to be at least a battalion-sized element. Okay? Most brigades have 5 battalions assigned to them.
These additional forces will nearly double our capacity to conduct counter-narcotics operations in the region. Additionally, 22 partner nations have joined us in this fight, bringing with them a variety of intelligence and operations capabilities needed to defeat these criminal organizations. Last year alone, United States Southern Command's operations resulted in the seizure of over 280 metric tons of drugs, much of which was designated for shipment to America. While this was an incredible achievement, there's much more work to be done.
This tells me that they're going to interdict their ships, their planes, and with those ground troops, they're going to hit their manufacturing, their storage facilities. With the air power and the ground troops, they're going to hit their storage facilities. They're going to hit their manufacturing facilities, and probably some of their holdups, their houses and their fucking training areas. This is going to be very interesting, folks.
Transnational criminal organizations continue to threaten our security by smuggling cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamines, and other narcotics across our borders. These drug traffickers put our communities at risk and destroy lives. Every year, tens of thousands of Americans die from drug overdose, and thousands more suffer the harmful effects of addiction. Furthermore, corrupt actors like the illegitimate Maduro regime in Venezuela.
Ta-da! The illegitimate Maduro regime in Venezuela. That's where we're going, folks. We're going to kick this fucker in the ass.
Rely on the profits derived from the sale of narcotics to maintain their oppressive hold on power. The Venezuelan people continue to suffer tremendously due to Maduro's criminal control over the country. Drug traffickers are seizing on this lawlessness by increasing their illicit activities. We must do more to prevent these drugs from arriving at our shores. These enhanced counter-narcotics operations that are now underway will further disrupt the flow of illicit drugs to America, deny our adversaries the financial resources they depend on, and build the capacity of our partner nations throughout the region.
Okay, so you get the drift of what's going on here. Let's see if we can get the general and then the admiral. See if they mention any specifics about what ships are going, or what units, and what the capacity of those units are.
Naval Operation Admiral Schultz for their contributions to this from their services. There's thousands of
Uh-oh, commercial.
It's like gone. It's way
3, 2, 1. Skip.
sailors, Coast Guardsmen, soldiers, airmen, Marines involved in this operation. We came upon some intelligence some time ago that the drug cartels, as a result of COVID-19, were going to try to take advantage of the situation and try to infiltrate additional drugs into our country. As we know, the 70,000.
Now, how does it, that implies that the drug cartels knew in advance of this biological weapons attack, or maybe even involved in it.
Americans die on an average annual basis to drugs. That's unacceptable. We're at war with COVID-19, we're at war with terrorists, and we are at war with the drug cartels as well. This is the United States military. You will not penetrate this country. You will not get past Jump Street. You're not going to come in here and kill additional Americans. And we will marshal whatever assets are required to prevent your entry into this country to kill Americans. So right now the Navy has marshaled additional gray hull ships from both PACOM and UCOM and for the Naval Fleet at Norfolk. And they are set sail already, and they are in the Caribbean right now. In addition to that, there's 10 Coast Guard cutters, and there's Special Operations Forces and Security Force Assistance Brigades, along with Air Force.
Did you hear that? Special operators and Force Assistance Brigades. This is going to get wild. This should be awesome.
Reconnaissance aircraft. The bottom line is you're not going to get through. Now is not the time to try to penetrate the United States with illegal drugs to kill Americans. But with the United States military, we will defend our country regardless of the cost. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Secretary.
Now here comes Bill Barr. This should be interesting.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for your decisive leadership as we confront this unprecedented challenge posed by coronavirus. I'd like to thank you for your support for this important initiative, and thank all of the Secretary of Defense and all the services for taking on this important initiative. Obviously, during this crisis, we're all focused above all else on COVID-19. But at the same time, our law enforcement and national security work must go forward, protecting the American people from the full array of threats. For the Department of Justice, one of our highest priorities must remain destroying the Mexican cartels. Their trafficking is largely responsible for the deaths, as we all know now.
It's about to get real, folks.
And also the cost of this.
And you know the cartels are tied into the Clintons and the DNC, and oh, this is going to get nice.
Narcotic trafficking clauses. The president has
Remember old Bill Clinton?
That we are in this fight against the cartels to win. That we are not interested.
Remember Tyson Chicken and Bill Clinton?
And that the threat posed by the cartel is not
And
just a
cocaine.
threat, but a national security threat. And in December,
The chickens have come home to roost.
the Mexican president in forging a cooperative relationship in the area of immigration. You asked me to go down.
Let's go look and see what this guy got to say. Who's this dude?
Our maximum pressure policy to counter the Maduro regime's foreign activities, including
Maduro regimes.
and this operation will help to choke off the funds that go to that corrupt regime. Maduro, narco-terrorists, and criminals should make no mistake that even as we are working
And
around the clock
Iranians
to fight
and
the spread of
Russians.
coronavirus, we will continue to execute on a number of important national security priorities as we face this public health crisis. The United States will continue.
This guy in the
to combat
background,
disinformation
the
and fake news
Secretary of
about the
Defense,
virus.
looks like he hasn't taken a
We will
fucking
work with
shit in a
world's
month, does
largest
he?
oil producers to address
Look at that. Looks like he's
vulnerabilities in global oil
constipated like
markets.
crazy.
We will always protect our
Look at them eyes.
servicewomen around
Looks
the
like
world,
he's
including
spinster
in
is
Iraq,
is
Afghanistan.
tightened so hard he can't get that turd out.
That President Trump and Vice President Pence and their administration are working tirelessly every day to protect the health and well-being of Americans and respond to the coronavirus. Our adversaries should take note, however, this president has a clear-eyed focus on America's national security interest. And let me be clear, it would be a mistake with terrible consequences for any adversary to attempt to do us harm during this health crisis, or ever for that matter. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President.
That was aimed towards the Russians and the fucking Chinese and the Iranians. It's telling them to don't start no shit.
So, do we have any questions on this? Because this group is going to go back to work. We're going to leave.
Question either for you, Mr. President, or Secretary Esper. What has changed that is allowing these assets to be deployed now, whereas General Barr said in the past they were not available?
Well, for a long time, we've had a lot of drugs coming into our country. And it's not that it's increased. We've probably got it down a little bit, but it's still a tremendous number. Families are being ruined. Lives are being ruined. It's an incredible thing, especially as you're at this position. You would never believe it. I see things that nobody would believe. I see reports that nobody would believe. So I met with the group behind me, all of them.
Okay, so we got a good, 8 minutes or so of stupid fucking questions by the press. We'll just skip that.
Have to be, and I understand that. And I must say, protecting our military families is our top priority.
So, there you have it. If you didn't know, we're at war right now. If you hadn't figured that out with the coronavirus and the way it spread and where it was first seen, now you know. We'll just have to see what Trump and the military do to these fucking traitors, Democrats and shit, and see what happens. Well, that puts us at over an hour, so I don't know if I'll post this or not, but it was sure fun doing it. So let's get out of here. First off, let me say, let's see here. If you want to see more of this kind of material coming out from me, you can find stuff right there. If you like this type of material, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I normally don't do a whole lot of political commentary. I usually just do travel logs and little bits of film about goofy stuff. So, but if you like this, let me know. And until next time, I'm working on a couple movies about bacon bread and bacon pies, and that'll be coming up next. So stay tuned for that. Till next time, we got to get out of here with the Valkyries, man. You know that. Let's get taken out.